Hacktivism. Hacktivism is when the attacker breaks into government or corporate computer systems as an act of protest. Hacker classes include black hats, white hats, gray hat, and suicide hackers. Ethical hackers. Ethical hackers are information security professionals who specialize in evaluating and defending against threats from attackers by possessing excellent computer skills and are committed to using those skills in protecting the integrity of computer systems rather than hurting them. Ethical hacker categories include former black hats, white hats, and consulting firms. What do ethical hackers do? An ethical hacker's evaluation of a client's information system security seeks answers to three basic questions that include what an attacker can see on the target system, what an attacker can do with that information, and if the attacker's attempts are being noticed on the target systems. An ethical hacker must always remember to convey to the client that it is never possible to guard systems completely. However, they can always be improved. Can hacking be ethical? Today, the term hacking is closely associated with illegal and unethical activities. Most companies use IT professionals to audit their systems for known vulnerabilities. Ethical hackers usually employ the same tools and techniques as attackers do, with the important exception that when ethical hackers gain access, no damage ensues. The important distinction between ethical hackers and crackers is consent given by the owners to ethical hackers. Skills of an ethical hacker. Ethical hackers must be computer experts and must have a strong grasp on programming and networking, and should also be comfortable with installing and maintaining systems using all popular operating systems. Ethical hackers must possess detailed knowledge of hardware and software, as well as having plenty of patience. What is vulnerability research? Vulnerability research includes discovering system design faults and weaknesses that might allow attackers to compromise a system, keeping informed of new products and technologies in order to find news related to current exploits, checking underground hacking websites for newly discovered vulnerabilities and exploits, and checking newly released alerts regarding relevant innovations and product improvements for security systems. Why hackers need vulnerability research. Reasons why hackers need vulnerability research include to identify and correct network vulnerabilities, to protect the network from being attacked, to get information that helps to prevent security issues, to gather information about viruses and malware, to find weaknesses in the network, as well as to alert the network administrator before a network attack, and to know how to recover from a network attack. Vulnerability research websites. Vulnerability websites include US CERT, National Vulnerability Database, Security Tracker, SecuriTeam, Secunia, HackerWatch, Security Focus, SC Magazine, and Millworm. Conducting ethical hacking. Each ethical hacking assignment has 6 basic steps. These steps consist of talking with the client about the importance of security and the necessity of testing, preparing NDA, which are non-disclosure agreement documents, and having the client sign them, preparing an ethical hacking team and create a schedule for testing, conducting the test, analyzing the results and preparing the report, and delivering the report to the client. How do they go about it? Security testing involves 3 phases: preparation, conduct, and conclusion. After discussing security issues with the client, a formal contract should be drawn up that contains an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, to protect the client's confidential data, and a clause stating that the ethical hacker has full consent of the client to hack into their systems. The conduct phase has 2 common approaches: the limited vulnerability analysis and the attack and penetration testing. How do they go about it continued? The needs of the client include the client often performing a limited vulnerability analysis because they do not want to lose any data or risk any unintended damage, and while conducting an evaluation, ethical hackers may come across security holes that cannot be fixed within the predetermined time frame. The client should be warned if this were to occur. The final phase is the conclusion phase, which is where the report is prepared for the client. Ethical hacking testing. Approaches to ethical hacking fall into one of these 2 categories: white box testing and black box testing. White box testing is when the ethical hacker is given full advanced knowledge of the system. Black box testing is when the ethical hacker is given no prior knowledge or information about a system. Choosing a testing method is actively under debate as to whether black box testing or white box testing is more effective. Monetary resources and time factors should also be considered. Ethical hacking deliverables. In the conclusion phase, the ethical hacker creates a detailed report for the client by analyzing the possibility and impact of hacking. Vulnerabilities that were detected are explained in detail, along with specific recommendations to patch them in order to bring about a permanent security solution. The client may also solicit the participation of its employees by asking them for suggestions or observations during the course of the evaluation. The final report should be delivered only in hard copy to the client. Computer crimes and implications. Computer crimes can be separated into 2 categories: crimes facilitated by use of a computer and crimes where the computer is the target. The Cybersecurity Enhancement Act of 2002 allows life sentences for hackers who recklessly endanger the lives of others. For more information, visit the United States Government of Justice's Cybercrime and Intellectual Property section at www.cybercrime.gov. Ethical hacking terms. Ethical hackers are hired by companies to perform penetration tests. A penetration test is an attempt to break into a company's network to find the weakest link. A security test is more than a break-in attempt because it includes analyzing the company's security policy and procedures. Once completed, the vulnerabilities are then reported. The role of security and penetration testers. Hackers access computer system or network without authorization. This breaks the law, which means they can go to prison. Crackers break into systems to steal or destroy data. As far as the U.S. Department of Justice is concerned, it calls both hackers. An ethical hacker performs most of these same activities, however, with the owner's permission, so it is not illegal. The role of security and penetration testers continued. Script kiddies, or packet monkeys, are typically younger, inexperienced hackers who copy codes from knowledgeable hackers but are still considered dangerous because it is not just about the tools, but the intent that is dangerous. Programming languages used by experienced penetration testers include Perl and C. A script is a set of instructions that runs in sequence to perform tasks, usually hacking-type commands. A tiger box is a collection of tools used for conducting vulnerability assessments and attacks.